If you're just now joining us, you haven't been paying attention to the weather. If you live in Charleston, you need to get to shelter right now. The lowest level of your home, the interior room. I hate to be stern with you, but this is a very serious situation right now. Many folks aren't home right now. Many folks are at work. You're watching us from work. You may be watching us from school. You want to get into that center part of whatever building you're in. As we go into tomorrow, the Great Lakes region is going to be an interesting case for our weather because the Great Lakes are kind of freezing up a little bit. So we're going to get less moisture from the Great Lakes here. So when we get that northwest flow that we typically get into West Virginia here, that might drag a little less moisture down for us as we go into later this evening, overnight tonight. If you look across, some of these businesses have sandbags in front of them to keep some of the floodwaters from getting in. You can see the Uplift Fitness building here. They've got sandbags up. And I've got a special guest now joining me. Come on in, Andy. This is Andy Shea. He's the CEO and owner of the Charleston Dirty Birds. Big smile on your face because I bet you're excited for tonight.
It's opening day.
Now, the ingredients still have to line up, though, as we go into Thursday. And when I talk about ingredients, the atmosphere has ingredients. Think about if you're making mac and cheese. I like this example because mac and cheese is my favorite food. You got to have the butter. You got to have the milk. You got to have the cheese. You got to have the pasta. Our atmosphere needs all the ingredients to have strong to severe storms, too. You got to have the instability. You got to have the wind shear, the turning of the winds as you get into the upper levels. You've got rain-cooled air that's just flying down out of this cloud, out of the thunderstorm. And as that rain-cooled air interacts with warmer air at the surface, it basically forms what we call a gust front. That's a mini cold front near the surface. And you get new clouds forming along it, and that helps you get those shelf clouds. Eleanor now popping up on this track. So Eleanor, again, that is where the Putnam County Fair is. Gates just now opening there. They've been doing the Putnam County Fair for a few days now, and you guys are going to probably get the worst part of this thunderstorm there at the fairgrounds in Eleanor. So you want to make sure that if you know somebody out there that they are seeking shelter. This is some tents that were knocked over at the Putnam County Fair. You heard from our Daniel Burbank earlier. The Putnam County Fair is canceled for the day due to the damage and also the rounds of storms they're still seeing. This is downtown Charleston. It might be a near miss, but notice there's a little cell here trying to form just west of downtown there. So live and levee, you definitely want to seek shelter because there is a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm. And even if you're not right over the storm, the lightning still is a concern there. And obviously, if you hear the thunder, you want to go indoors. I want to show you what was concerning me a little bit was that we've got some back building with this thunderstorm. So it's kind of just more storms forming on the back edge of it. Here's the thing. If you didn't have to deal with that air pressure light this morning, you might have to deal with it tomorrow morning because we're going to be about 10 degrees cooler. And Chase obviously was really thrilled about all this. I was pretty happy about it, but Chase is like, Dad, can I get out of here? Yeah, again, we've got those clouds increasing this morning. That kind of acts as a blanket for us. Now, it's still pretty chilly outside. When you step outdoors, you see we still got the jackets on. Might need some gloves for the kids as they're sitting at the bus stop, but at least it's not going to be as cold as it's been. Week 1 of Friday Night Football is next Friday. By then, we're still going to be blaring the AC. We're still going to be mowing the grass. The beach balls are still going to be out at the pools. But by week 10, the last week of the regular season, the leaves are going to be falling off the trees. The turkeys are going to be on the shelves. And you're going to be wearing your favorite sweaters, those pumpkin spice lattes as well. You can get cold air under the bridge and over the bridge. That's why the bridge freezes first before the roadways. The roadways are insulated by that soil in the ground. That keeps them warm. Where the bridges, again, they sit high up and you can get that colder air circulating around them. Closed vehicles heat very quickly. Double check the back seat. Double check for your kids and your pets in the back seat, folks. That is imperative. We got ourselves a little groundhog fight here. Today, 65 degrees, French Creek Friday, kind of chilling a little bit. Knows his prediction's right. But then Saturday, Punxsutawney Phil comes back out. He's like, hey, hold on a second. Not yet. We got 6 more weeks of winter here.
But we don't want it.
This isn't the green we want to see on St. Patrick's Day, though. You don't want to see green on the radar. I want to show you what happened overnight to it, though. Big brush fire blew up there on Bacchus Mountain. You can actually see the little fire line that the foresters have set up. And again, this helps them contain the fire. So you see that little line there? That means they've got the fire contained. Here's the thing. That southwest flow is starting to kick in, though. So that's allowing that smoke to advance more towards the I-64 corridor. So that's why we're starting to see more of that smoke up towards our neck of the woods. Burn bans remain in place for many of our eastern Kentucky counties. As a matter of fact, the Team Kentucky website shows this list just continues continuing to grow for you here. These are 29 counties in Kentucky right now under a burn ban, meaning no burning at all. I've got the snowflake tie on. It's November 1st. We got our little taste of winter this morning. Now it just feels like winter. It's very chilly. This is what we call directional shear. You've got winds moving one direction in the lower levels, winds moving another direction in the upper levels, and that means the winds are turning with height. This would be a good atmosphere for like tornadoes if you had enough instability for it. We all love each other, right? Communicate. I might call Anthony Kahn and say, hey, Anthony, you still got some power? Just, take care of each other, folks. That's one way we get through these weather events. That's doing it together. You've got these winds moving this way, these winds moving this way, away from the radar there. And that, again, gives you that little rotation, this little spin right in here, which is what we're tracking. Now, it is a weaker area of rotation, not extremely strong. You want to make sure you have an emergency kit handy, whether it's just some extra bottles of water that are stored in there, some non-perishable canned goods. You want to have a flashlight just in case the power goes out, a first aid kit. Now, it's a small area of cold air, which means there's going to be a small area of wintry precipitation possible out of the system. Now, areas not in this flood watch further south, including Kanawha County down to the coal fields in southeastern Kentucky, doesn't necessarily mean you aren't going to see any high water issues at all today. It just means it's a little less likely here than it is as you get north of I-64. The only difference in Charlotte is a 100% chance of mayo. So you want to look out. Might see some mayo dumping out of the sky down there at Bank of America Stadium later today. Notice the rain chance. It was another cold start out there this morning with temperatures in the 20s, but man, we rebounded nicely this afternoon. 56 degrees is the high temperature today in Charleston. How about 57 in Huntington? And even better in Prestonsburg, Kentucky at 58 degrees down in Floyd County. Now, temperatures going down just as quick as they went up, though. Down to 50 already in Charleston, 52 in Huntington, 45 in Portsmouth, 41 degrees in Ripley there in Jackson County. So we'll fall back into the 20s again tonight. A few clouds will keep us from getting into the lower 20s, but a few of those outlying spots could certainly get there. Some frost late, especially the lower spots, the outlying areas, could definitely see a thick layer of frost tomorrow morning. And mostly everybody will see a little bit of frost. I just don't know if it's going to be as thick as it was over the last couple of mornings with these clouds building in. You can see these high clouds building in across the tri-state right now. These will continue to build in from west to east. High pressure, though, going to keep us dry for the time being, but we do have an area of low pressure in the central plains and a very strong area of low pressure already developing here in the Gulf of Mexico. This is going to be a big nor'easter for the East Coast as we go into the weekend. So how do these two areas of low pressure impact our weather? Not much of an impact tomorrow, just a few high clouds building in. It'll be a mix of sun and clouds. After the cold start, we get up to 63 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Now, the clouds might keep us near 60, but if we can get some areas of sunshine, 63 will certainly be achievable. Sunday, yeah, we've got occasional rain for your Sunday. Best to be indoors on Sunday for sure. That rain could be heavy at times. Likely a half an inch of rainfall, but we could see up to an inch in some areas, high of 50 degrees. Then Monday, we start with rain showers early. That transitions over to snow showers by Monday evening and Monday night. We'll start in the 40s on Monday, dropping back off into the 30s. So back to reality to start the week next week. Here's a look at the two areas of low pressure on Futurecast here. Again, look at the Gulf of Mexico here. Look at all this moisture being ripped up by this area of low pressure. So weaker wave back to our west. Again, this area of low pressure going to be the dominant one over the East Coast. That's going to be the stronger one this weekend. But this weaker area of low pressure will kind of merge into it. So we start with rain early on Sunday, and then this nor'easter here back to our east. We don't really see the big direct impacts from it, but we get the widespread rain from it by Sunday afternoon, evening. Then as this area of low pressure moves to the northeast, hence the name nor'easter here, you get strong northwesterly flow filling in for Monday afternoon. So we get cold air and moisture pulled down from the Great Lakes here. So you get rain to snow by Monday evening. A few snow showers by Monday evening and Monday night. And then by Tuesday morning, it could certainly be a little slick in some spots out there. We're not going to see a major accumulation here in the lower elevations. Could see a grassy coating in some spots, some slick roads for Tuesday morning. But man, the skiers, some good snow for the ski slopes by Monday night and Tuesday morning with some accumulation along Route 19, especially as you get towards Beckley, Fayetteville, and Summersville. So use caution there Tuesday morning. Nevertheless, a great start to the weekend. 63 degrees, a mix of sun and clouds Sunday. Yeah, kind of a washout. 50 degrees with occasional rain. And then we're really getting cold for early next week with that snow potential Monday night into Tuesday. We rebound by Wednesday and Thursday. We're back in the 40s, Jason.